The NEC 2020 allows a maximum of 13 duplex receptacles on a 20 amp 120 volt circuit in a doctor's office. The continuous duty 125% rule does not apply to lighting and receptacle circuits. This rule applies to circuits supplying motors and other loads expected to operate continuously at or near their rated load. For lighting and receptacle circuits, the NEC requires that the circuit demand be calculated at 100% of the nameplate rating of the connected load. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, is a set of standards for safe electrical installation. It is updated every 3 years and adopted by most jurisdictions in the United States. Its purpose is to safeguard people and property from hazards arising from the use of electricity. Article 210 of the NEC covers branch circuits. A branch circuit is the circuit conductors between the final overcurrent device protecting the circuit and the outlet or outlets. Article 210 provides requirements for the size and rating of conductors, overcurrent protection, and the types of loads that can be served by a branch circuit. When determining the number of receptacles allowed on a branch circuit, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the voltage and amperage of the circuit. Secondly, the type of occupancy. Thirdly, the connected load. Fourthly, any applicable demand factors. In this case, the circuit is a 20 amp 120 volt circuit in a doctor's office. The NEC does not specify a maximum number of receptacles for this type of circuit in a commercial occupancy like a doctor's office. However, it is common practice to limit the number of receptacles to 13. This is based on the assumption that each receptacle will serve a load of no more than 1.5 amps. To calculate the maximum number of receptacles, divide the total circuit capacity by the load per receptacle. In this case, the total circuit capacity is 20 amps. Assuming a load of 1.5 amps per receptacle, the maximum number of receptacles would be 20 divided by 1.5, which is 13.33. Rounding down to the nearest whole number, the maximum number of receptacles is 13. The continuous duty 125% rule is found in NEC section 210.20a. This section states that branch circuit conductors and overcurrent protection devices shall be rated not less than 125% of the continuous load plus 100% of the non-continuous load. A continuous load is a load that operates for 3 hours or more at a time. Examples of continuous loads include lighting, heating, and air conditioning. The continuous duty 125% rule is designed to prevent overheating of conductors and overcurrent protection devices. By increasing the ampacity of the conductors and the rating of the overcurrent protection device by 25%, the circuit is less likely to overheat when subjected to a continuous load. The continuous duty 125% rule does not apply to lighting and receptacle circuits because these circuits are not typically subjected to continuous loads. Lighting is often switched off and on, and receptacles may or may not have a load connected at any given time. Furthermore, the NEC requires that the circuit demand be calculated at 100% of the nameplate rating of the connected load. This means that the circuit must be able to handle the full load of all connected devices, even if they are not all operating at the same time. In the case of a 20 amp 120 volt circuit, the total load cannot exceed 2400 volt amps. This is calculated by multiplying the voltage by the amperage. 120 volts multiplied by 20 amps equals 2400 volt amps. When installing receptacles, it is important to follow all applicable NEC requirements. This includes using the correct type and size of conductors, providing proper overcurrent protection, and grounding the receptacles properly. It is also important to ensure that the receptacles are accessible and not obstructed by furniture or other objects. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may be local codes and regulations that must be followed. These codes and regulations may be more stringent than the NEC requirements. It is important to check with the local authorities to determine the applicable codes and regulations. Improper installation of receptacles can create a safety hazard. Overloaded circuits can overheat and cause fires. Improperly grounded receptacles can cause electrical shocks. It is important to hire a qualified electrician to install receptacles. A qualified electrician will be familiar with all applicable codes and regulations and will ensure that the receptacles are installed safely and correctly. In summary, the NEC allows a maximum of 13 duplex receptacles on a 20 amp 120 volt circuit in a doctor's office. The continuous duty 125% rule does not apply to lighting and receptacle circuits. It's imperative to adhere to the NEC guidelines and local electrical codes to ensure electrical safety in any installation. If you're unsure about any electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician. They can assess the specific requirements of the installation and ensure compliance with all relevant regulations.